Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's FPL Yusuf and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going into the final game week 38 of FPL Challenge, and it's a very interesting one this week. It is one player from every club, so it's going to make certain decisions very difficult to make, as a lot of us are sort of doubled and tripled up on certain teams in our main FPL. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so welcome back, guys. Like I said, this is game week 38. They're going to be the last game week of the season for FPL Challenge, and we're going out with a bang, as it's going to be one player from each team's selection. So, without further ado, let's just get into it. So, we're going to start with the goalkeeper, and I have gone with my Man United pick, and I've gone with Onana. Now, I could have gone with someone with a better fixture. Man United, especially defensively, aren't looking amazing. They are going to be away to Brighton, which, to be honest with you, I'm not sure how that game's going to go. Man United, when they just played Arsenal recently, actually were quite firm. I don't know if Arsenal really got into sort of fourth, fifth, sixth gear to really test Man United, but it was one mistake from Casemiro. But unfortunately, that is what can cost you a clean sheet. So Onana, for me, the reason why I've gone with him is solely for the save points. I don't expect a clean sheet from Man United, especially on the last game of the season. I feel like everyone just kind of goes for it. No one's really got anything to play for. Man United are sort of thereabouts in Europe. Brighton have just had, kind of an average season, sort of like mid-table finish. So I think both teams are kind of going to be on the beach with this one. So it could go either way. Either it will just be a 0-0 and it'll just plateau out into nothing, or you could see quite a high scoring game, which hopefully means Onana will be pulling off some saves for us. So yeah, he's going to be my goalkeeper. Let's get on to the back three. We're going to start with Pedro Porro, who on paper has got the best fixture in the league, which is obviously Sheffield United. I feel like this can go even one or two ways. Either Tottenham will go there and absolutely dominate because Sheffield United are relegated, the tails will be in between the legs, and that will be just a sour end to their Premier League campaign. Or it could go the complete opposite way, where they're going to give their fans one last send out. They're obviously at home. So it's the last time they'll be in the Premier League, at least for this, like for next season, at least anyway. So they may come with some sort of like just one big send off. So Pedro Porro, again, same as Onana in a way, is I don't really expect much of a clean sheet from Tottenham. More so, he's there for his attacking sense. Now, someone who I do expect a clean sheet for, if I'm being honest with you, is Anthony Robertson, and he is. For me, he is someone who's been very consistent all season, and I've owned him on my main FPL for a few weeks, more longer than a few weeks. Actually, I owned him for quite a while, and he's always returned quite well for me. So I'm actually pleased to have him in this team now. It was between him or Leno. The only reason why I went for him is because I didn't fancy. I'd rather have Robinson and Onana in goal than have a Man United defender and Leno in goal. So yeah, for me, Luton Town away again, same thing. They're pretty much relegated. I know it hasn't like. Technically, they can finish level points with Forest, but with the goal difference there, I just don't think that Luton are going to be able to claw that back. So it's pretty much unfortunate for them that they are going to be relegated as well. Again, same thing as Sheffield United. Will they go out on a high? Will they just go there with their tails between their legs? I think the one thing you can say about Luton is that they will always try and attack. And obviously, when you've got a defender in your team who's played against them, there is always a possibility that they could slip up with a clean sheet. I think the way Fulham performed against Man City in their last game wasn't exactly inspiring, to say the least. But I think Anthony Robertson does also offer an attacking threat. Maybe not as much as Pedro Porro or the other defender in this team, as you can see on screen, Reguilon. But I think he's a good all-round solid player. And yeah, that is my pick from Fulham. Moving swiftly on to that, we'll come to Reguilon. Now, this game I'm not sure about, the Brentford versus Newcastle game. Obviously Brentford are at home, and they've actually been very consistent and very good at home over the last few weeks defensively. Flecken being the sort of standout of their team, but Reguilon as well flying down that left hand side. And if Newcastle were to be without Isak or Wilson, which is a possibility because as the time of recording it's Tuesday afternoon, and Newcastle play their second game tomorrow on the Wednesday, but from the updates we've had is that Wilson could be pretty much done for the season again, come up with another hamstring injury right after just coming back from one, and Isak wasn't feeling 100%. So I'd imagine he'd be back by the weekend, but if he's not, it obviously boosts Brentford's chance for a clean sheet. So that is our back three with one of Pedro Porro, Anthony Robertson, and obviously Reguilon with Onana in goal. Okay, so on to the midfielders now. I'm going to start with only one place really, and that is with best FPL asset over the last few years, and that is Mo Salah. Now, I was sort of tossing and turning about whether I should go for him and put Salah in there or go for Trent and like bolster the defense. I think for me, as it's Klopp's last game of the season and it will be at Anfield, I think I can't see Liverpool not going out with a bang. Wolves are on holiday mode. They haven't been great defensively throughout the course of the season, really. They've been very good as a team, but not so much in terms of keeping clean sheets. I can't not see Salah scoring in this game. I don't think it'll be Salah's last game. I think he will still be here next season, despite all the talk and the rumours around him. However, Klopp will definitely be gone, and I think that there's no other way that they can leave that time without giving him a good send-off. So for me, Mo Salah is going to be in there, and he is going to be my captain for that last game. So Cole Palmer goes without saying. He is just Chelsea's main man. He's on penalties. For me, it's not even we don't even need to talk about this because it's kind of a no-brainer with him. So he's just straight on the team sheet. The Arsenal player I've gone with now, I could have gone with a defender, a Saliba, a White, but I've gone for Kai Havertz. And the reason why I've gone for Kai Havertz over the likes of Bukayo Saka and Trossard, one is for a little bit of a differential, but two, I think he is so central to how Arsenal are playing at the moment. He will play 90 minutes, whether he plays up front or whether he gets dropped back into the 8. So he's going to get the minutes there, which is what Trossard doesn't guarantee you. And he's going to be central to everything Arsenal do, which is sometimes what lets Saka down a little bit, because Saka's such a good FPL asset in terms of his penalties and just the way he ticks over. But Havertz is just, when he plays in that false 9 role, he's integral to everything. So for me, Kai Havertz is going to be the third midfielder in this list. And the last one is going to be Michael Elise from Crystal Palace. Now, this one was a really difficult decision between him and Eze. And to be honest with you, you could go either way with it. I think Eze's probably a little bit more secured for minute-wise. Who's on penalties out of them two, I'm not exactly sure. So as of time of recording, like I said, this is Tuesday afternoon, and I could genuinely swap that back to Eze from Elise, as he's someone that I'm looking to bring in my main team as my transfer for the final week. So yeah, we will have to wait and see what happens with that. They're playing against an Aston Villa team who just look tired. Like, they look really tired. They had a great comeback against Liverpool, but the fact that they were 3-1 down in the first place, and with how much confidence Crystal Palace are playing with at the moment, I think that could be quite a high-scoring game. And that leads us nicely onto our strikers. And one of the strikers who's going to be in that game is Ollie Watkins. Now, Ollie Watkins has just had the most sensational season. He's been absolutely fantastic. Goals, assists, all-round play. He's been just a standout option. He's competing for the most scored points in the Premier League season. So yeah, he's just been brilliant. And I think in this game that they play on the last game of the season, I do think this could be quite an open one, and I do think there's a possibility that Ollie Watkins could find some joy against Crystal Palace. I could see it being sort of a 2-2, a 3-3, like a big scoring game, like back and forth, like a chess match, really. So yeah, Watkins for me, straight in on that team sheet. Haaland goes without saying as the Man City asset. The last game of the season, Spurs haven't kicked off with Chelsea as of yet, so we don't know what the result of that is. Now, if we go into that, whatever happens, Man City are going to need to win their last game of the season against West Ham, which I do expect them to do, and I do expect them to win it comfortably, which means Haaland for me is a must. Obviously, if City are going to win the title, they need to win that last game. Like I said, at the time of recording, we don't know whether Spurs have actually done Arsenal a favour or not. But regardless, they're going to need to win that game against West Ham on the last day, and I just expect Haaland. To be honest with you, I can see Haaland walking away from that game with a hat-trick. I think West Ham are just kind of done for the season. You know, Moyes' last game, leaving West Ham. I could see that one, unfortunately, for David Moyes being quite a high scoreline, especially because if City need to claw back goal difference, that could definitely be in for a sort of 4-5-0 game. And the final player we're going to get onto is someone who has had an exceptional season in his own right, and that is Dominic Solanke, scoring yet again, pulling off one of the most coolest celebrations you will see with the Obito mask. So yeah, that for me is our front three: Solanke, Watkins, and Haaland, wrapped up with the midfield, the defense, and the goalkeeper for the last time in this FPL Challenge season. It'd be interesting to see actually what happens next season, whether they bring it back, because obviously, as we all know, this was just a beta, like a trial run for this last part of the season. So, but one thing I will say is I have thoroughly enjoyed FPL Challenge. It's been very interesting. I hope you guys have enjoyed my videos on it this season as well. But yeah, so that's going to be my final draft for the last time on FPL Challenge this season. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.